In Germany, Mamdouh Salim, alleged to be a key military advisor and believed to be privy to bin Laden's most secret projects, is also apprehended. The U.S. government alleges he was under secret orders to procure enriched uranium for the purpose of developing nuclear weapons. These are allegations bin Laden does not now deny.
It would be a sin for Muslims not to try to possess the weapons that would prevent the infidels from inflicting harms on Muslims. But how we could use these weapons if we possess them is up to us.
With an American price on his head, there weren't many places bin Laden could go, unless he teamed up with another international pariah, one also with an interest in weapons of mass destruction.
Osama believes in the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and it's someone I should cooperate with. That's certainly the current case with Iraq.
Saddam Hussein has a long history of harboring terrorists. Carlos the Jackal, Abu Nidal, Abu Abbas, the most notorious terrorists of their era, all found shelter and support at one time in Baghdad. Intelligence sources say bin Laden's long relationship with the Iraqis began as he helped Sudan's fundamentalist government in their efforts to acquire weapons of mass destruction. 3 weeks after the bombing, on August 31st, bin Laden reaches out to his friends in Iraq and Sudan. Iraq's vice president arrives in Khartoum to show his support for the Sudanese after the U.S. attack. ABC News has learned that during these meetings, senior Sudanese officials acting on behalf of bin Laden asked if Saddam Hussein would grant him asylum. Iraq was indeed interested. ABC News has learned that in December, an Iraqi intelligence chief named Farouk Hijazi, now Iraq's ambassador to Turkey, made a secret trip to Afghanistan to meet with bin Laden. 3 intelligence agencies tell ABC News they cannot be certain what was discussed, but almost certainly, they say, bin Laden has been told he would be welcome in Baghdad. And intelligence sources say they can only speculate on the purpose of an alliance. What could bin Laden offer Saddam Hussein? Only days after he meets Iraqi officials, bin Laden tells ABC News that his network is wide and there are people prepared to commit terror in his name who he does not even control.
Alhamdulillah. It is our job to incite and to instigate. By the grace of God, we did that, and certain people responded to this instigation.
Afghanistan to Iraq in the lead up to the war there, and for a long time afterward, members of the administration, including the president, have maintained there was a link between Saddam Hussein and al-Qaeda. Today, a declassified Senate report said that was not true, that in fact, Saddam Hussein mistrusted al-Qaeda and thought it a threat to his power. Our chief White House correspondent, Martha Raddatz, is joining us tonight. Martha?
Charlie, the report is a stinging rebuke to those assertions made by the White House leading up to the war, as you said, and long afterwards. For more than 4 years, the administration has argued that Saddam Hussein was tied to Abu Musab Zarqawi and al-Qaeda.
We knew Saddam Hussein harbored Zarqawi, the terrorist we have seen who's beheaded some of our citizens. We knew they were there.
Today's report reveals for the first time a 2005 CIA assessment that concludes that Saddam Hussein, quote, did not have a relationship, harbor, or turn a blind eye towards Zarqawi and his associates. Nor, the report says, did Saddam have ties to al-Qaeda. Democrats on the committee were quick to respond.
Today's report is a devastating indictment of the
Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness. For he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord.
The Bush administration's unrelenting, misleading, and deceptive attempts to convince the American people that Saddam Hussein was linked with al-Qaeda.
The CIA assessment is based in part on statements to interrogators by Saddam himself. The report says, quote, in response to the suggestion that he might cooperate with al-Qaeda because the enemy of my enemy is my friend, Saddam said if he wanted to join with enemies of the U.S., he would have allied with North Korea or China. And Iraq's former foreign minister, Tariq Aziz, told interrogators Saddam only expressed negative sentiments about bin Laden.
Osama believes in the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and it's someone I should cooperate with. That's certainly the current case with Iraq.
Saddam Hussein has a long history of harboring terrorists. Carlos the Jackal, Abu Nidal, Abu Abbas, the most notorious terrorists of their era, all found shelter and support at one time in Baghdad.
And yet this was the same season when the Rand Corporation reported that an estimated 1,400 terrorists were operating openly out of Iraq.
She's still telling me what to do. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Were we rolling tape on that?
There you go. You got a brush? Yes. Just a one-finger victory salute.